Hello everyone, uh, welcome to another video of All Around Data. Today we're going to import pictures using an API with Talend. So as you could see in my previous video, we already set up a job to import the raw data using the API. If not, you can watch my previous video. So what we have here to summarize, currently we have a job where we use a DDB connection to connect to our local database. There we will import some data using the ESPN API and write it to our database. And here we iterate over the ESPN NBA teams to get for each team all the players using this API. So how does it look like in the database? In the database, it looks like this. So we have a table ESPN NBA teams with each an ID, abbreviation, name, display name, location, and logo URL. And here we have a table with all information about different players, all also with a picture URL. So what are we going to import today? We are going to import the pictures that are in here, as well as in here. If we copy such an URL and have a look at it on the internet, we will see that we retrieve such an image. The same is possible with the player's URL. So let's see what we have here. So what we're going to do is import these pictures to our local folders so we can use them for uh, different purposes. So what we need to do first is select the different URLs from here. So what we're going to do is use a TDB input in Talend, just like here. So we can copy this one and add it in here. Say on subjob OK. And then we are going to iterate as well. So we can copy these three components. We're going to iterate over each row that we receive. Then we're going to use a dummy so we can connect it to our eventual API. But what are we going to query from the database? We are going to query this statement. So let me just add it in here. We are going to select the logo URL and the display name from the teams. So we will receive this output. Why? We will use this column to actually get the logo, actually get the picture. We will use this as the picture name. So we can copy this and add it into Talend. Like this. Here we can add the schema so everything is correct. So logo URL and display name, which are both strings. Yes. So then we can here we will not use, and this is the crucial part, we will not use a TREST client, but we will use a TFetch TFileFetch component. So select this in here, and here you see different, yeah, it has other variables than the TREST client because it's very specific to retrieve a file from the internet. So it is using HTTPS as you can see here. So we will pick this protocol. What is the URL? That will be this value. So we can access it using row 11 dot, how did we name it, logo URL, just like this. Then in here we have to define what our destination directory will be. So I will use this folder to store the pictures. So let me just copy paste it, change the slashes, and in here I will create a subfolder with NBA teams. Now here I have another option, file name. So I said previously that I will use the display name as a file name, so that's exactly what we are going to do. In here we can say row 11 dot display name, and we will add the extension png as the picture is stored as a png. So now it's not a post, so we can remove that one. So right now everything is set up. I will add the title, import team pictures. So everything is set up. I will now run the job again. It will also perform the two first steps, which re-imports all the data from the teams and all the data from the players. As you can see here, it imports everything again, but our main focus of today is in these four components. So there are 30 teams, so it's almost done importing the players. And right now we see it's iterating over each row and performing a TFileFetch. But as the data now imported, let's see in our folder, we see that there is an additional folder, and we see in here that all the team logos are imported with the name, the display name.png as extension. So we can click on one. Let's click on the Chicago Bulls, and we see in here that the picture is in our local folder. So let's perform the same task for our players. So we can copy this four components as the structure is the same. So in here we select on the subjob OK, but the query needs to be different. Now we don't want to query the NBA teams, we need to query the different players. So let's show in our management studio what we will import. I've prepared a query that's importing the that's querying the picture URL and the full name of the player with a full name that starts with the letter L, just to speed up the job. Otherwise, it's importing all the pictures of the players. So we see that there are 20 different players starting with the letter L. So we will use this, hit in here. You need to change this again, so it's picture URL and full name. Again, we'll use the full name as the name of the picture and the picture URL to actually get the picture. So here we change this to picture URL. And here we will say it needs to store the pictures in the folder NBA players. Last but not least, we will say it needs to use row 12 dot full name, just like that, and also add a title to make everything clear, just like that. Just to summarize, here this is a default setting, just as this component. This is just to make it possible to connect this one to that one. So let's run it again. And see if everything is imported correctly. Here I will have a look, and when the job is in here, it should create a new folder NBA players with the 20 pictures of the player in it. So here it's re-importing the data. It's overwriting every single picture, but that does no harm. And in here, it's started to import the players, so no errors, everything looks okay. So have a look. There is additional folder, and look what we have here. We have the 20 different players that we queried using the query in the database. So that's the job. It imports all the data, it imports the two pictures, and it writes it to our local folder. So that was it of today. I hope you enjoyed it, hope you learned something, and see you in the next video. Bye.